This thing live? Okay, so I got a bone to pick with the Afrocentric community. Bring it on in, we gotta talk. So I've been a part of the community for several years, about a decade. So I mean, I'm not saying I know it all, but I know what I see. And what it is that I am seeing is disturbing me. And it is disgusting my spirit. Like, honestly, it's just like it wants to spew out of my spirit. So I had to make this video because I don't ever really make videos, but I really need to address some shit. I need to address some things. Excuse me for cussing, but excuse me, this stuff is real. I am tired of people using Afrocentric worldviews to hide behind their blatant hatred for people that are different from them. Now, let me note this, where we all should know and understand that white supremacy is a real thing and the institution of racism does exist and we are not benefiting from it. We have other fish to fry, okay? We have bigger fish to fry. Now, what do I mean when I say that people are using their Afrocentric worldviews to hide behind their own personal hatred? I'll tell you. The first offense number one, if you're light-skinned or you're half, somehow this makes you less black. Now let's examine this. What is it about fair skin that makes a person less black? What is it? So are you telling me that someone from, let's say, the Khoisan tribe in southern Africa, I'll have to find some pictures of them and post it for you. You're saying that the Khoisan people are less African because their skin is a little bit more fair? Somehow they're not down for the cause because, you know what I'm saying, they got brighter skin. Wise up, black people come in all shades. All of this division that you're doing where, you know, if a black man decides that he wants to only date light-skinned women, how is that any of your business? How is he no longer loyal to his people, whether her skin is fair or not? If there's a black woman who identifies with her Africanness, but her father or her mother is white, she has a black parent, how does this make her any less? And moreover, I'm tired of hearing y'all calling these people halves. Where do you get off judging people on their ethnic makeup? My, how the mighty have fallen. So if it is true what you say that if you're fair skinned or if you have a white parent and this makes you less black, then we'll have to forfeit not Muhammad Ali, excuse me, child. We'll have to forfeit Malcolm X. We'll have to forfeit Booker T. Washington. We will have to forfeit Bob Marley. And the list goes on. These are all the people that we're going to have to forfeit. And these are all people that have been our voice when we could not speak. So this is ignorance. Ignorance. Second thing, Latinos don't count as black. Now, where I will say, first I have to tell you, Latino is a word used to describe someone that is that was colonized by Spain. Now you have Hispanic people; those are people that have their origins that go back to Spain, and then you have Latinos. These are people that just live in Spanish colonies that are not necessarily of Spanish descent. You have people like Zoe Saldana, Big Papi from the Red Sox, Sammy Sosa before he bleached. You're going to look at me and tell me that these people are not African because they just so happen to be from somewhere else that did not speak English. So I guess, you know, the Afrocentric community must be the ultimate authority on blackness and Afrocentricity. Or African authenticity, excuse me. So this must make you the end all be all of blackness. Right? The way I look at it, if you were not born on the continent of Africa, you are a diasporic African. You have no rights to say what makes a person more or less African. There is the obvious thing. If you are a person of European descent, you are obviously not African. However, we have always come in all shapes, all shades. I just think it's very despicable. Despicable, disgusting, sad, and it holds us back. It defeats the purpose. The next thing I really want to touch on is this whole victim mentality that we've taken on. The first thing I'll say is this: if you call yourself Afrocentric, you now forfeit the ability to use excuses as to why black people cannot do better and do more. You calling yourself Afrocentric, which means you must have read a few books. You must be familiar with a few black superheroes, as I like to call them. You must be familiar with our Garveys, our Malcolm X's, our Harriet Tubmans. You must be familiar with these people. You must be familiar with their struggle. You have to know a little some. So all of these excuses where white supremacy is holding us down and white people make it so we can't do this, I don't want to hear it anymore. Harriet Tubman says she could have saved thousands more slaves had they known, or possibly she said millions of more slaves, had they known that they were slaves. And what I'm telling you is, where we all know that white supremacy is a real thing, we need to stop using that as an excuse as to why we cannot do better. We can do better. But we must first decide that we are worthy to do better. And then we have to do actions. Because this Afrocentric community, we like to talk a lot. There are plenty that are doing, but where there are those that are doing, there are several more that are just talking about doing and not actually doing anything. I grew up in the South. I grew up in Florida. I'm a child of the South. I did not have the most positive interaction with my Caucasian counterparts. I had trouble coping with racism and prejudice, as I am the darkest child of my family, so I felt the weight of my race, my color, more than some may have. I feel in my I felt like I felt it more than a lot of other people that I knew. I was very much aware. My parents raised me to know who I am and where I came from. They raised me like that. I decided that I wasn't going to let anything hold me back, and my mentality is, if you don't like it, leave. I believe in what Marcus Garvey said, but I'm not saying it's for everybody. I don't even live in America anymore. My address? Al Masaif, Saudi Arabia. I moved. I left. I decided to take control of my life and change it, because the white man cannot keep me from applying for a passport. Passports are open for everybody. White people can't keep you from homeschooling your kids and teaching them about African history. Oh, woe is me, woe is me. They're not teaching about black people in school. Homeschool your kids. There are things that you can do that white people cannot keep you from doing. Stop making excuses and just do it. Harriet Tubman rescued thousands upon thousands of African people and took them to freedom. Why? Because she just did the shit. Haiti, with Bookman Duty and Toussaint Louverture, freed themselves from slavery. You think they used the complaint? Oh, we're enslaved. Oh, we're meek. Oh, we can't do anything. Massa won't let us do nothing. No, they just did the shit. They met in private. They did what they had to do to get the job done. If you're calling yourself Afrocentric, African-centered, conscious, all these phrases, drop that if you're going to use these excuses. You know, I'm about to get off here because I don't want to preach. But this is stuff that I'm tired of seeing and I'm tired of hearing. We're black. Y'all want to bear the title of king and queen and Mansa and all these lovely titles that you think we should be bearing? Be that. Do it. You got the juice. We have the tools. We had ancestors that showed us. We know what goes right. We've seen what goes wrong. We had the civil rights movement. We've had the slave rebellions. We have the books. We have all the tools. Do not let all this black knowledge go to waste because you want to get trapped in your slave mentality. Free yourself. 90% of the problem is the way we react to it. The other 10% is the actual problem. Get yourself out of the hole. Get out of your own head. Break these chains. Stop this division because it's making me sick. It's either that or leave the Afrocentric community and just go be a regular Joe. So I think I'm off my soapbox now. That's all I really had to say because this was really on my heart because I've been really, really disappointed with what I've seen. So I think that's it. If you got any comments about this video, you can put them on the video. Let me know what you think. If you want me to make another video, let me know. But these are just my own personal rants. I hope all of y'all decide that you are the ones, you are it. You got the juice, you got the power. Know that we are kings and we are queens, and it doesn't matter if it is our birthright. You are the master of your own domain. You make the change. Stop this division. Take control of your life. I'm going to keep saying it. You got the juice. And if you ain't seen that movie, you need to go see Juice with Tupac. You got the juice. Peace.